Welcome back to Sushimi's House. I'm your loving host, Master Sushimi. We've got Bubbie on the mic.
Hello.
We're going to talk to Asian Conan O'Brien, aka Corvin.
Oh, I didn't realize you had more to say. Oops.
I'll see the last two make it out.
Thanks. But why do you have that little exclamation over here?
Yeah, what's that about?
Thank you, Huntress.
Oh, whatever. Dunzo, I guess.
What's that unknown thing?
Oh, did you ever get the fireplace on the way?
I don't think I did. I think it might be this thing.
Why did it become unknown?
I don't know. Maybe because we weren't seeing it. I don't know. It's all over the place. Maybe
you're
I
right.
think I'll circle like this way.
And try and, yeah,
I'll see the last two make it out.
try to like grab everything. Oh, but I didn't finish what I was saying earlier, specifically because I could tell we were getting toward the end of the episode and also like side plot was happening. Hearing nice things from people who you don't know as well, like who, you know, you may know but are not like super familiar with or whatever, is always nice. Especially if you're an anxious person who wonders like, oh, is this person just being nice to me or are they just saying those things? And it's like people who don't know you don't, like, nobody owes you those things, but especially people who don't know you, you know? Like if you really want to look at it that way and then like, oh, you know, the people who love me only do it because they love me or whatever. It's like, well, first of all, yeah, they love you. So like, yeah, of course. But also people that don't know you, again, don't owe that to you. They don't have to. Oh God, no. Not like this. So hearing it is always reassuring because it tells you you're doing the right thing, whatever it is you're doing, you know?
You know what else my coworker said?
Yeah.
I just because I was like she said two very sweet things to me, and I remember just being like overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm.
The second thing she said was that I have a very sweet and welcoming voice, like a warming voice, is what she said. And I was like, that's so sweet because I don't often like my own voice.
I'm not even gonna front. I'm tearing up because I'm proud of you because it's very sweet. It's like nice to hear nice things people say about, you know, your sibling who you consider like a good person and stuff. Yeah, like I feel like, you know, especially with being a new provider, it's kind of scary and nerve-wracking when you're trying to talk to patients and figure out what's going on and how you're going to help them and whatever. But in my few weeks of being at work, have already had a couple who want to see me back next time they have their appointment. And it's nice. Like that tells me like they liked the work, they liked the service I provided. And then a few have gone as far as to say like, you know, thank you for taking the time to listen to me or take the time to explain things to me, because I feel like so often in like the hustle or the fast paced world of healthcare or whatever, we forget to actually explain things. Like just because I know what hypertension is does not mean the person in front of me knows. Like I'll ask a patient like, do you have hypertension? They'll go no, and I'll go, do you have high blood pressure? And they'll go, oh yeah, and I take medicine for it. Or they'll say no. They'll take another step further where they'll go no, and I'm like, do you take any medicine for your pressure? And they go, oh yeah, I take that because it used to be high, and then now that I'm on it, it's not high anymore. So like,
okay, so a bit of a misunderstanding.
But you have to be able to clarify that kind of stuff because
right, yeah,
little things like that is what makes it that you're not taking care of your patient. Because
that's why I said it's a misunderstanding. It's not that your patient's dumb.
No. I know it's precise. You're absolutely correct. That is the perfect term. It's a misunderstanding, or sometimes like
no.
Oh my god.
Oh,
help.
Oh.
You're gonna have no ankles by the end, or just gonna have like little prosthetic ankles.
I pressed circle to drop down, and instead Aloy was like, I'm gonna kick off with all of my super strong leg force.
Fly away.
Aloy, please.
Aloy, please. Yeah.
I get scared.
I have that issue with Sneasler in Arceus Legends.
Sneasler will do that to you.
It doesn't listen to me when I tell it to descend.
It's tricky.
It is a little tricky. I do love it though, don't get me wrong, but I'm like, please, girl, please.
It's like that video I showed you last night.
It's so funny. Well, then too, in the game, they refer to that lord as like he, she, her, not he. But yeah, so
Please,
it's been nice to hear my patients be like, thank you for explaining things to me and clarifying things and whatnot. So, oh
Why?
my god.
God, like this?
Or like when my preceptors would say nice things, like, oh, you know, she's gonna do great. I'd just be like, thank you. So, I don't know, it's hard. And I think for a while as a society we discouraged accepting compliments and discouraged acknowledging good things about ourselves because that made you cocky, that made you, you know, overly confident or whatever. And I think now we're kind of going through this new wave of like, confidence is good and confidence is okay. And you might not have confidence and that's also okay. Oh my god, that makes me so sick.
No, that's fair. That's reused from the original game.
Ugh, god, what the fuck was
angle
that?
was fucked.
Jesus.
Oh, ready for do it again?
No.
Ready for me to fuck up that grammar?
Ready to do again.
I said ready for do it again.
Yeah, well.
Which is just as bad as what you said.
Yeah, I hate the way they angle the camera when you land. Like at the
Yeah,
end of that.
I think the problem is I did an input. Like I moved the camera and the game wasn't ready to compensate for that.
Gotcha. Fair.
Yeah, things got ugly real fast.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay, well that covers that site and that site. We wanted to hit this one.
Yeah.
Where's my boy?
Where you at? Where you at?
Hey boy. What'd you say, boy? Are you alone, boy? Sorry, I'm just filling in space because it seems like you're thinking.
I was trying to think of what I was talking about before I started talking about Sneasler.
Accepting compliments.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So, like, people, for the most part, don't say those just, like, they don't feel obligated to. I don't know. At least I don't. Like, I like complimenting people. Even if it's like I like your nails, I like your hair, I like your shirt. You know? I don't know. It's nice.
That's fair.
Try to be nice to people and then try to be nice to yourself. And the second one is very hard. But, I don't know, do it.
Interesting. They sell resources. Like.
Nice.
Oh, she wants to trade a green shine fragment for this.
Oh.
You could also just try and get that.
Yeah. In the whole, like, being nice to yourself thing. And please don't at me. I have no idea if this artist is problematic or not. I truly don't know. And I don't even know why I wonder that about him, but Andy Grammer? I don't know. A newer song of his I just kind of bumped into. Or no, I heard it at the gym. Which is like, it's called Love Myself. And it's a very sweet song. And it's not like, because I think there's also kind of an unrealistic, like, how do you be kind to yourself thing. And it's just like, just be nice. And it's like, no, you gotta start baby steps. Sometimes you don't have to be nice to yourself, but start by being not mean and be neutral. You know, like kind of like the concept of like, you know, there's a lot of body positivity these days, which is great. But sometimes body positivity is not realistic. So then other people are saying, well, what about body neutrality? Like, my body is here to help me, you know, consume food, digest food. Breathe in air. Breathe out carbon dioxide. Like, if you need to get that factual, you get that factual, you know?
That's
like,
fair. I
like,
mean, if the best that you can do is, hey, my body's a tool and it's useful to me, that's still better than being, like, hating your body.
Right, like you can say, thank you, body, for, you know, whatever capabilities you have, right? You know, because if you're like, oh, I have celiac and I can't process gluten. Thank your body for processing everything that's not gluten. Like, sorry you can't process gluten, but thanks for doing the rest. Because you could have also not been able to do so many other things. You know?
That's true.
So I don't know. At least that's how I see it. Obviously, what I say is not like the thing. But anyway, but in that song, I really like the lyric that he says, like, it's gonna be an awkward talk. Because it's like, it is. You know, I also, an ASM artist that I watched for a while. I still do sometimes because I have so many to pick from now because there are very, very many good ones out there. I want to say it was Whispers Red. She's great. She's lovely. She at some point talked about affirmations, like just look in the mirror and oh no, I'm gonna affirm we're not gonna die. Oh, we didn't die. But like just like looking in the mirror and saying things. I could be wrong. I will give her credit because I think it was her that said it. And this isn't like the only time that the only person who's ever said that, but it's just where I kind of heard it more. Just like looking in the mirror and saying nice things to yourself, like start your day with that or end your day with that, either way. And the idea of talking to myself in the mirror is like very awkward,
Of course.
to me. But I mean, I'm sure there's something good about it. I'm sure it works for some people. Kind of along the lines of what I said earlier, like I'm an auditory learner and I remember things better if I hear them out loud. Maybe I will remember better that thing I said out loud. Actually, not maybe. I know this. That is a tool that I started using to combat aspects of my anxiety. Because, like, okay, for instance, like, you know, I'm having a really bad day and I'm like, oh man, you know, like, I'm terrible. Nobody would love me, whatever. Jonathan probably also doesn't love me. I am then like, that's not true. Like, I have multiple memories of him saying I love you out loud, you know? Like, that's a very simple, dumbed down example, but like, I have done that. Like, I have what I call, like, you know, evidence, you know, because I'm a kind of not scientific, I'm like a science-based person, facts person. So I can be like, nah, brain, here's the facts. On this day or this time, he said this thing, or this person, other person I love said this thing, you know? So, like, maybe if I said it out loud, it would have worked too because I heard myself say it out loud. I don't know. So.
I mean, that's fair if that's what that takes.
I
Or
know.
That's what it
So,
takes.
it is, yeah. So, I don't know. All those things are super interesting things. I really like that song. Good luck trying to figure out my music vibe. I feel like I've listed 3 different types of songs today that I've liked. I've been like, here's Coldplay.
I'm stuck.
Here's
I'm stuck.
Oh, fuck. Here's Andy Grammer. Here's Luis Fonsi. Here's Marina and the Diamonds. Which, I mean, Marina and the Diamonds, Bubblegum Bitch, Homewrecker, excuse me. Prima Donna Girl, Starting Role, all very good songs. Hale was the one that introduced me to Prima Donna Girl. They would play that album, I think it's Electra Heart is the album, over and over, because they would drive me home from school. So, because we did theater together.
Yeah, we were theater kids. I'm sure you guys already pieced that together.
I mean, even if we haven't talked about it, I'm sure you could figure it out.
I was talking to my boss earlier, my new boss.
Yeah.
And she mentioned something like, I don't want to say, I'll tell you afterward what her name is, but her name very obviously was one that, like, we were talking about names and just like misspellings and stuff like that. And her name is one that very obviously lends itself to bullying because it sounds a lot like a thing, a sexual thing.
Oh, okay.
So she kind of was like, yeah, like my name. And I was like, yeah, I can't imagine you had a good time in like high school. I almost said middle school, but then I was like, maybe that would like ruin part of the world for her.
Yeah.
She was like, yeah, no, high school was terrible. I was like a big old nerd, really quiet, like didn't talk to a lot of people. And then she paused and was just like, I used to watch a lot of anime.
Nah.
Like she paused, like she was like, oh god, is he gonna like make fun of me for this? Is he gonna like do they even like know what I'm gonna be talking about? Like it was very like in a jokey like haha anime.
No,
and
I
was
watched
like,
anime.
oh no, I was a huge weeb. And then she paused and went weeb, and I was like, short for weeaboo, basically like super into anime, still super into like video games and stuff. She paused and was like, oh, I had to stop the video games after I got married because my husband would get upset that I like he would just come home and find me doing nothing but playing video games and, like having done nothing else. And I wasn't gonna say anything, but I was like, man, that sounds like a wicked, not great marriage.
That
but,
sucks, yeah.
Be careful not to let this stain my hands.
I forgot how I got on that. I guess I was mostly just like
The theater kid thing.
Yeah, that's right. And I was like, yeah, I was a theater kid. I was also a big weeb. Like I briefly joined the Japanese club where I realized like, man, this takes up a lot of time.
Yeah.
By which I mean I went like a day, and I was like, cool, shogi sounds interesting. Not really. I mean, it's part
Your
of Japanese
thing.
culture, but I don't think it's really
To be fair,
learning
the
Japanese.
teacher that led the Japanese club was such an asshole.
Oh yeah, no, dude was a piece of shit. He also led the chess club and like the
Academic. Did he do academic challenge as well?
yes, yeah, dude
Yeah.
stayed busy probably because he didn't have a rich inner life outside of school.
No.
You know, if I were to guess,
I do. My a fond memory of mine was watching in the Japanese/anime club because it changed a couple times. Was watching Interstellar 5555 or 5555
Can't get rid of the vines.
Yeah.
Anyway.
During a lunch period or watching like
special
part of it.
year required to clear. Okay,
Okay.
I'll have to remember that's there.
Yeah, I wasn't I was not a person that could be on stage because I just wasn't good at it. I don't even want to say I'm bad at public speaking because if it's a topic I'm very confident about, I do great. I mean, I did my capstone, which I knew was like over Zoom, but I feel like I did a banger job on that one. And when I was in high school, I did a couple of like science-based presentations for my classes, and I would do good. I was able to wing a like 15-minute presentation on stem cells in college, and then wing a completely different biochemistry presentation I had to do because I didn't know shit about biochemistry, and I still don't, by the way. I took a class, I got an A, and I got an A because the teacher was professor was a very, very, very nice lady, total pushover. We had 2 exams, both were open book, including the final. And then the presentation, I just I didn't even read the chapter. I just like took things that seemed big about the chapter and then put them in a slideshow and did my best. And it was fine. I also got one of the earlier chapters because that was part of the classes you were assigned to do a lecture for the class on the chapter. So like every time we met for class, somebody would be starting off class, like one of our classmates would be starting class with teaching you about the chapter we were assigned for that day. And I had like chapter 3 or 5 or something, so it was like more basic biochemistry stuff that I could still kind of handle and kind of get through and bullshit.
Wednesday morning. Interesting.
But yeah, your girl got an A that she did not deserve. And I was so pissed because there was this one dude who, like, in his defense, he was going to get, like, a doctorate in this stuff. Like, he needed to know biochemistry well. And he reported this professor to the dean of, like, the biology department because he was like, this class is too easy. I'm not learning anything from it. And I need this stuff for, like, to get my PhD. And I was like, buzz off. If you really want to learn it, go read it, you nerd. I need this A. I need this for PA school, and I will never use this again. So just shut up and let me have this. And thankfully, like, it was fine. Nothing happened. But there were threats or rumors that she would possibly be... I mean, she was not allowed to teach that class after us. So we were her last biochemistry class.
So it didn't even really help him. It just ruined it for everybody else.
Everybody in the future, correct. But there were rumors that she would be stopped from teaching it for the rest of the semester because this was around like spring break. So there were rumors that somebody else would take over for the second half of the semester. And I was really worried about that because I was like, or that she would make the class harder to kind of save face, you know? And I was like, oh, please God, no, I've not learned anything. I will fail so bad. But she was such a sweet lady. Had like 3 different degrees and doctorates, like just a very humble genius. Like she played incredible violin. She performed violin for us once or twice in class.
Oh, nice.
She was super sympathetic. My only professor that was sympathetic, truth be told, because that was my final semester of undergrad, so my senior year, spring semester senior year, and that was the semester that mom had her aneurysm. So I was still going to school while visiting mom in the hospital for like a week or 2 into the first semester. Because by that point she got discharged, so it was fine. She was home. But the first few weeks, like I had to do that. And so like, I think at some point she sent me an email. She sent everybody in the class an email where it was like, oh, you know, introduce yourself. Tell me a little bit about yourself. Like something we were supposed to fill out before the semester even started, or like right before the semester started. And I remember seeing that email and saying I'll get to it later, and then like just didn't think about it. And it wasn't until like a couple weeks into the semester that I walked up to her because I realized I never filled it out, and I was like, "Hey, doctor, whatever. I'm so sorry. I completely forgot to fill that thing out. I was in the hospital with my mom when I got that email, and I just forgot to get back to it. So I'm really sorry." She was like, "Oh my God, hospital? Is your mom okay? Are you okay?" And I was like, "Oh no." I was like, "Oh no, she's fine. Everything's fine. It's no big deal, And she was like,
Trying to play it down.
right. And she was like, "What are you talking about? Like, she was like, are you still coming to class while doing that?" And I was like, yeah, but it's." She was like, "It's not fine. If you need to miss class or anything, like, please let me know." And like, I don't think she understands how much that meant to me because no other professor gave a shit. And they knew. It wasn't like nobody knew. Everybody knew. And nobody gave a shit except her.
It do be like that.
Yeah. So I hope she's doing amazing wherever she is. Oh, next time. Whoops.
Oh yeah, we went over by a little bit.
Sorry.
Yeah, next time at Tsushime's house. More of this. Later.
Bye.
You gotta know you're in for something special. You gotta feel it in your bones. Oh, you're gonna find what you need all in time. If you're looking for it, no. If you're looking for it, no.